Alfa Romeo, a brand that has been known as the baby Ferrari in how they look, how they drive, how they feel. But in today's economy with CUVs and SUVs, they've decided to enter the market with the Tonale. So we want to see, do we need an X1 or a Tonale? We are.
But this is just on a whole new level.
TVEC.
This is a performance car after all, so you'd expect it to be a lot more rough in terms of drive.
Reactions.
Yo!
Reviews.
Handmade engineering underneath this monster.
Messing around.
4 liters of fuel. Eugene, you're paying for this.
It's crazy. I'm not gonna have enough.
Like, comment, subscribe, enjoy. So now you join us in the Tonale. I was about to forget the name.
Yeah,
I was so close to forgetting the name, but it's very comfortable in here.
very comfortable.
It's very, very comfortable.
The seats are on the sportier side, which I really don't mind because it's an Alfa Romeo, but it doesn't take away from their actual comfort. You've got a really nice like leathery material, and then on the main parts of the actual seat is a really cool different like stitched material, which reminds me almost of like the Minis interiors where they've got the more eco-friendly but like cool characteristic materials inside. And generally speaking, the seats are just very comfortable, as well as the suspension.
It's very soft.
Very well dampened.
It's very well damped, yes.
And you'll get to that more in the dynamic section, but Alfa Romeo is one of the best with dampening systems, and that's why they handle so well.
Yeah, that's what they've been praised for a very long time.
Yeah,
But
being baby Ferraris. And
but for you, like, how does it feel just sitting in there, as in the comfort-wise?
in the comfort-wise.
In the comfort segment, yes. In the comfort segment. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know exactly what I mean.
Yeah, no, just in general, like I said before, it's immediately just a very comfortable car to drive. Very easy to get around in. The tech, like we've already mentioned, is really good. Very crisp. Even now with the sun glaring on it, lots of cars battle with you being able to see the screens when the sun's on them, but it's got really good anti-reflection, and because of this telescoping outwards, it actually blocks any sun from getting on the gauge cluster, which makes it very readable.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sitting in the passenger side and I can still read the gauge cluster like a full, iPhone screen.
Yeah, and it's just very easy to use, very easy to drive, very quiet,
Very
and
nice.
I have to say it feels a lot smaller when you're driving it.
Really?
Immediately you're going to see this, it feels a lot smaller of a car than what you'd think. Comparing it though to some of the other cars in the class, for instance, I have driven a Q3. This doesn't fall down compared to its German rivals. I have to say I prefer the interior in general, and even while driving it, to something like the BMW X1. I feel like that's a bit too much screen, but too much tech stuff.
Too much tech gizmos going on.
Yeah, this has a lot more flair and character to it. And if you wanted to get going a bit more and you put your foot down, because of the mild hybrid system in here, this is Alfa Romeo's first mild hybrid system. It's a 1.5 4-cylinder with a mild hybrid. It is very easy going on city roads, and when you need a bit of a punch to get around someone, it fills in the gaps, which makes it very easy going, very chilled or relaxed to drive.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this is, maybe it is a plus or downside. You don't really see many of these. So when people see this, they're like, wow, what is that?
Yeah, I think people need to get inside these more, test drive them, feel them out, and see exactly what they're all about before you make your decision on whether you want a BMW or an Alfa. Don't just buy a BMW because it says BMW.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen in the latest X3 now, it's been praised as being a great car, but the interior falls down for what BMW is known for in terms of quality. Whereas this feels better made than what the X3 does. And it looks better for sure.
For sure. Definitely for sure. But we'll join you when we're actually speaking on the design of the car. I know what you're thinking, dude.
Do you now?
Not your typical Alfa Romeo.
Definitely not, especially when it comes to looks. When you think about Alfa Romeo, you don't really think CUV.
No, you think maybe the Giulia QV or the Stelvio QV or
from way back when, the GT Juniors or GTVs and GTAs, the two-door race sedans or sports cars. And yeah, this is a first in the segment. It's actually a shared chassis with the Dodge Hornet in America. For you in America watching here, this is a shared chassis with that car. But there are still distinct elements of this car that make it an Alfa Romeo at heart.
Yeah, really. Because
And
I
I
do want
have
to
to start off at the front. Being with the Alfa Romeo badge that's embedded in this crest-shaped front end over here, where the grille is located on the front of the car.
which is a hallmark of the brand.
Definitely is a hallmark of the brand. And it really stands out like a sore thumb compared to all its competitors, being the X1 or the Q3 or something like a Volvo XC40. You really notice this apart from those, and it really stands out as an Alfa Romeo just from this.
Yeah, because when I look at this, I'm like, wow, that is a beautiful front design.
Definitely. It looks like every part of this car was intricately, I don't know how to say
We'll put
the
it
word.
down. We'll put
Yes.
it down, yes. We'll find it.
Intricately, whatever the
Designed.
word is,
Yes.
designed.
Yes.
I could say that word yesterday and then I wrote accounting. But it looked like it was designed well. It was designed with purpose and with Italian passion.
I definitely see the passion in this.
Definitely.
I definitely. Compared to like the X1, which is very Germanic in a way. You know,
Yes,
it's
it's just put
straightforward.
together good.
It's straightforward, purpose, very good. That's all. This was like designed by Italian sculptors.
Yes.
Or
Over
sculptors.
many weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah, Italian sculptors that just put this on the canvas and are like, let's make a car.
Yeah. And speaking about that Italianness of Alfa Romeo, everything on the front has a purpose. So these vents work, this vent works, the bottom vent works, these vents work, and everything works well. It's designed with purpose and passion, including these beautiful Bugatti tourbillon lights.
Because Bugatti stole Alfa Romeo's idea with their new lights.
And then actually heading to the side of the car, I want to mention a quick interesting fact coming to the brakes, that these are actually Mopar brakes, being the fact that this is a shared chassis with the Dodge Hornet.
And you all know Mopar, or if you don't know Mopar, that's mainly the American muscle car side of things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very weird to see that on an Italian car.
Yeah.
But you have your TR badge here to say what trim this is. You get TR in Veloce here in South Africa. Overseas, you do get a few more trims. Now, you do have the Italian logo embedded in the indicator to show the Italianness of the car. Very, very Alfa Romeo styled rims. These are very easy to spot out from other cars' rims or rim designs. And then again, going to the beautiful looks, you have strong lines that run across the entirety of the body and make the car just absolutely stunning.
And I personally like how the back looks as well.
The back looks absolutely beautiful. I was a bit iffy on the lights, but now I've actually come to really, really like those lights.
Yeah. Lovely interior in here.
Very beautiful interior. Really nicely set out.
But is it Alfa Romeo though?
I think it is. There's a few key details, just like on the outside, that they have to remind you that this is an Alfa Romeo. Starting off with, when you enter the car, the screen actually glows with the front grille, because like I said, it's important, that grille with the badge, the front lights, and you get the Alfa Romeo badge there. And a cool fact, when you switch the car off, it actually shows the rear tail lights
Yeah, which is
on
very
the screen
cool.
as well.
Which is very, very cool.
Which is, again, something that's just the small details. Like, for instance, on the side here, there's an Alfa Romeo badging there.
Well, I had no idea about that actually.
You have the Alfa Romeo crest on your seats, the headrest there, the nice Alfa Romeo badge over here on the front to remind you that it's Alfa Romeo, and you even have a little Italian badge over here just to create that Italiano passion.
That passion.
Now,
that
you
passion.
do also have an Alfa Romeo badge by your wireless phone charger and a Type-C and USB.
Which is very handy.
Yeah, all the charging points, all of them.
And you know, something you did mention is that it's very Stellantis in here.
Yes, very Stellantis.
Yep.
I couldn't get to what it was, but you knew exactly what it was.
Yeah, in the center console over here, it looks like something off of a Peugeot 3008,
Yeah.
2008, or in general the Peugeot, you know,
Yeah.
the Peugeot lineup.
Which is definitely not a bad thing to say, because the Peugeot interiors are very spaceshipy, futuristic looking.
Yes, very much so. And in here, you know, the touch points, stitched leather dashboard.
Yeah,
which is
really
very
nice over there.
It's very Italian.
Got this really cool like texture, and this texture actually runs on the actual hand points of your AC units, your AC controls, and even you've got some
volume button.
nailings on your volume button, like in the Mercedes A35.
Yeah, which is very handy.
Very
and,
handy.
and coming to the infotainment system, it's very easy to use and very crisp.
ergonomic.
Like when
very
you-
crisp looking.
Like when you look at it, you wouldn't think it wouldn't be as sharp or as dense as, you know, something like an MBUX system, iDrive system, or the Audi's MMI control.
Yeah.
But this is very, very good. It's very good for everyone and people who, you know, sometimes maybe can't see as well.
Yeah.
And at night, it's still very handy.
It's very handy. It looks to the same detail of something like an Audi does.
It does.
The screen's depth and detail and crispness and general quality is really, really good. And then they've kept your basic necessities, like your AC controls, all physical buttons.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Stellantis. You join me in the boot of the Alfa Romeo Tonale. I'm going to tell you what's important about it. Now, the boot has a general total capacity of around 500 liters because you're actually able to move this board down from this table piece over here, which gives it some extra space. But that's not important. The important part is this car looks beautiful, not only here in beautiful Sanford in South Africa, but also in the Italian Alps, where if you pull down this handle piece and open up that latch, you have enough space to fit your skis when you go skiing on the beautiful Italian Alps.
Since you made it this far, we probably guessed that you actually are loving this video right now. But we also wanted to know, what do you think of the Tonale? Would you have it in black or would you have it in white? Personally, myself, I take it in white because it's an Italian car. It just looks so much better when it's a little bit more brighter. But I'd also like to give a massive thank you to Stellantis Santon for giving us this amazing car, or these amazing cars. We'll put the details in our description box down below. And also, make sure that you head down below, click the like button, the subscribe button, notification bell, because we are on the road to 15,000 subscribers for a 1,000 horsepower supercar. Okay, so I've taken the wheel of the Tonale. And one thing I just don't like are the turn signals.
BMW turn signals.
BMW turn signals, I really don't like that. Where
it's not an Alfa thing, it's just turn signals that you press and then they go back to the middle piece.
Yeah.
Are always just weird.
And to cancel them, you have to almost do a half press, which is just really annoying. But apart from that, I can understand what you mean by saying that this is a very easy car and very small car.
Yeah.
It feels like a very small car.
It feels nimble.
Because, when you look at it on the outside, it looks substantial.
Yeah, it looks to me like the bigger brother of the segment.
Yeah,
it
definitely
looks like the grown-up of the segment. As we were saying, guys, unfortunately the camera cut out because Joburg's sun right now is insanely hot.
Yeah, I
was saying
the AC is literally on full blast right now.
Yeah. But as I was saying, many journalists have said this car is very nimble, dynamic, like a small Jack Russell or something like a hot hatch from inside, where it does look more grown up from outside.
Well, definitely, because I did feel that through the steering, the acceleration pedal, and the engine. Okay, the engine does lag a little bit, but then again, it's a 1.5 4-cylinder. It's not going to really be, the VAG group with their 2-liter turbocharged 4 cylinders and everything like that.
Yeah. Whereas overseas, you can get a slightly more powerful engine. You don't get that here. You only got 2 options, and there's no power difference of around that 118 kilowatt mark.
Now, just mind the glare, if there is any glare. I'm going to take it to its paces a little bit.
We can test a bit of the dynamics and accuracy of the handling.
Steering is very
nimble.
Very nimble.
Now, if I am correct, I think this does have an electronic locking differential as well, which helps with the handling. And we have put it into its dynamic mode for DNA.
Yeah.
And just to compare it to some of the other cars, for instance, the X1, you do get an 18R, which is most comparable to this, which has around about that 110 kilowatt. And other than that, you only get an 18D, and for a bit more money, you can get a 35R. But that isn't as comfortable or as flare-driven or passionate as I feel this car is.
Yeah, and especially compared to some of the Chinese rivals, this feels a lot better to drive. It feels a lot more stable, better feeling. Steering is a lot more sharper. Handling is a lot more better. Yeah, you can really feel like there is Italianness in this car.
Yes, there's Alfa Romeo DNA inside of here.
As the badges, the Italian flags signify.
Yeah.
It definitely is really a very good car.
Now, if you did want something a little bit spicier, you can look at something from Audi, for instance, the Q3. For similar money, you can get a 40 TFSI Quattro, which is a little bit faster, but won't be as efficient as this car. So you're going to gain speed and you're going to lose efficiency and daily drivability in some instances. Or you could even look at the Mini Countryman, which has a few engine options as well.
Yeah.
But overall, I think the Italian character of this car really sells it for me.
Especially with that mild hybrid system, because in most turbocharged cars, you really do get that lagging effect.
Definitely.
But this one, it fills in the gaps of where a turbocharger does let down a car sometimes. But for us petrol heads, we kind of like that personally. Yeah. But for the regular occurrence, to go to the shops, to go to the school.
Not for a CUV.
Not for a CUV, yes. Not for a CUV. But I really love how this thing drives.
Yeah, it drives well.
And this is my first Alfa Romeo I'm driving. So I guess this is a good way to start the lineage that's going to come very soon.
And we're back from that beautiful, beautiful drive.
Yeah.
That Alfa Romeo-ness is there. From the looks, outside and inside, the good build quality, but that driving is really where this car just works as an Alfa Romeo.
For sure, especially compared to some of its like Chinese counterparts and rivals.
Definitely.
This feels a lot better.
Yeah.
Like it actually feels like a car.
It does.
Yeah.
It feels like it was designed for purpose, which
Definitely.
I go on again. And it feels better to drive than something even like a BMW X1. Now, this is the price leader, as you were about to say, because I can read your mind.
Obviously, yes, for sure. Now, this actually first started off at about 811,000, brand new.
Yes, so brand new, these are around 811, and these are the TI specs. Now, in Veloce trim, they are around about just under 850. Now, that makes it the most expensive in its class, considering a 40 TFSI Audi Q3 is around 814, and something like a BMW X1 is also around that 850 and under mark. But we've just got inside information from our good friends here at Stellantis that you can now get a fully loaded TI in black for 649,000 Rand, which is absurd.
That is absurd.
Come and buy the car now, because that is a bargain for what this is.
Yeah, and after experiencing this whole car, I can see why, like, you know, I'd take this over an X1.
I definitely can see.
I definitely
and considering it's 200,000 Rand cheaper now,
That's the
and
other
more
thing.
efficient,
That is the other thing, yes.
and it's got passion.
Yes,
It is Italian.
it is Italian. Yeah, and you know, for something like this is for like someone who doesn't want to follow the trend of like the normal stuff.
Yeah.
This is for like the person who enjoys something different.
Yeah,
Definitely,
don't
sure.
follow the norms, South Africa.
Yeah.
Don't just buy BMW because of the badge. Look at some of the options, because you're going to find that there's a lot better out there than just the next one.
Definitely. So if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks again to Stellantis Santon for giving us this amazing Tonale. We'll put that information in our description box. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.